Hello viewers, welcome to all of you. Today I have prepared a new video for all of you, and this video is basically on the topic which variables are included and which are not included in the calculation of national income of a country. Right? So as you all know, in the calculation of national income or domestic income of a country, there are so many elements, so many variables are there, so many sources of incomes are there which are included. But what happens, there are certain variables which make confusion in our mind whether this should be included, they are included, or they are not included. So what happens, sometimes students are confused in the examination or when they come across such questions. It creates confusion in the mind of the students whether the particular item should be included, it is included or not included. So to clear all of your doubts, I have prepared this video. I hope this is going to be helpful for you, all of you. Now, to identify a particular variable, whether it is included or not included, we have to keep in mind certain particular factors. Okay, if you keep these particular points in your mind and you try to identify, or you just try to find out whether that particular variable is having any kind of what relation with these characteristics or not. Okay, if the following characteristics that I am going to teach you now, if any of these characteristics is applicable to that variable or that element, then you have to understand that yes, it is included. And if it does not what does not fulfill the characteristics I am going to discuss with you now, then you understand that it is not going to be included. So basically there are so many variables. Okay, so I cannot teach you each and every variable, but I can teach you the basic trick. Okay, this is the basic trick. You just apply that and you can solve any kind of question based on this. So inclusion or exclusion of items in national income depends upon certain particular factors. So what is the first factor? The first one is that you have to find out whatever variable is given to you. Just try to uh, understand whether these are legal or illegal activities as per the law of the country. Always remember, if any person is getting any money through any illegal activity, like suppose kidnapping, let's say robbery, and any kind of ransom money, okay, black marketing, smuggling, these type of activities, they generate huge amount of money for the people those who are involved in such activities. No doubt they get huge amount of money from this business, but they are illegal. Okay, as per the rule they are illegal. So if any activity is illegal in the eye of law, then it should not be, it is not included. Be sure of that. Okay, the next point is that just try to know whether that item adds to the current flow of goods and services of the country or not. Whatever income we are talking about, whatever money we are talking about, or activity we are talking about in the question, is it adding to the current output of the country? Okay, has that money been generated by producing some commodity, some goods and services for the economy in the current year or not? If not, then it is not to be included. If it is generating some income and that is legal activity, through legal activity, it is generating some goods and services, then that particular variable should be included. Okay, the next is whether their value can be estimated at market price or not. Okay, whatever activity we are talking about, you have to find out if any activity is performed by any person and that is a productive activity. Okay, and as we all know, income generated through productive activity is calculated in the national income. But there are certain activities that people perform. In our day-to-day life, we perform many kinds of economic activities. At the same time, we perform many productive activities also. But some productive activities are there which cannot be calculated at market price. Okay, the exact value of such productive activities cannot be ensured, it cannot be calculated at market price. In that situation, it becomes difficult to add that in the calculation of national income. Basically, what is national income? National income is income generated through productive activities and that are legal activities. And the most important thing is that whatever income is generated, that should come to the notice of the government, that should be in an account through which we can make the total, we can sum of the total income. If any activity is performed somewhere but that is not coming to the account, it is not coming to the records, then we cannot calculate that. Okay, so basically these are the common things, these are the what you can say, these are the key points to answer such questions. So just please remember these things. First, find out whether it is legal activities or illegal activity. In case it is illegal activity, be sure it is not included. Second thing is that whatever activity is performed, is it adding to the current flow of goods and services? Is it creating any goods and services for the economy or not? If not, it is not included. If yes, it is included. Third one is whether the value of the productive activity can be estimated or not. If we cannot estimate that at all, then we cannot include it. If it can be estimated, then we can include it. Okay, so let us proceed. So I'll give you some examples. Items not calculated in income of a country. Okay, items not calculated. Okay, I will also show you the reasons why they are not calculated. See, money received from sale of second hand goods. Okay, we purchase many things, durable things like television, car, bike, cycles, mobile phone, all these things, and after 1 or 2 years, 3 years, if we feel like purchasing a new one, then we dispose of our old ones and we go for the new one. Okay, so when a person is selling his old vehicle, old bike or old mobile phone, that is called a second hand mobile phone, second hand car, we call it second hand items. Okay, the question is, whatever money is received from sale of second hand goods, should that be included in the calculation of income or not? Okay, the answer is no. As I told you, we are discussing the items which are not included. So obviously money received from sale of second hand goods will not be included. And what is the reason? As you can see over here, the reason is the value of, you can see the value of the good has already been calculated in the income calculation of its year of production. I mean to tell you that suppose you purchased a bike in the year 2015. So the value of the bike has already been included in the calculation of national income of 2015, isn't it? If a bike was produced in the year 2015, whatever expenditure made on the production of the bike or whatever income was generated through the production of the bike, it was included, the value of the bike was included in the year 2015. And now you are selling the bike, suppose in the year 2019 as a second hand bike to somebody, and you are getting suppose some money from that. So whatever money you are getting now, the bike is not reproduced, or it is not a new bike produced in the current year. Okay, in the year 2019, it is just a second hand bike and you are selling it to somebody else. Okay, that means the bike is not newly produced, or no income has been generated from the bike so far. Okay, and its income has already been included, its price, its value has already been included in the year 2015. Okay, that's why second hand goods, whenever we sell second hand goods, whatever money we receive from that, that is not included. The reason is that its value, its price, its market price, whatever you call it, it has already been included in the year of its production. Second, money made from illegal activities such as gambling, smuggling, theft, okay, anti-social activities. Okay, so when people make money through these activities, they are not included. What is the reason? The reason is that such money made from illegal activities do not come to the accounts of the government. The government, it does not come to the record of the government, or you can say that these activities are not legal activities, and the government does not get any revenue from such activities, and these activities do not add any welfare to the economy. So in this way, such activities will not be included in the calculation of national income. Okay, and the third one is transfer income, such as pocket money of a child, scholarships, old age allowances, donations, etc. As you all know, these are called transfer incomes. Why? Because these are one way payment, unilateral payments we call it, because there is no two way transaction. The person who is receiving such money is not rendering any productive service to the person who is paying the money. Okay, so this type of money that we get through pocket money of a child, scholarships, old age allowances to old people, the government pays that. So these are transfer incomes, and which are not included in the calculation of national income. Okay, as you can see, the reason is these do not add to the current flow of output of the economy. When a father is paying pocket money to his child, the father is paying the money from his income, and the father's income has already been included in the national income, right or not? So when the father is paying, suppose 50 rupees to his son or daughter, then the 50 rupees is the 50 rupees are what it this is one type of transfer income. The child is not performing any productive activity in return for 50 rupees, right? So these incomes do not add to current flow of output in the economy. Now, windfall gains such as winning a lottery, jackpot, horse races, all these things. Suppose a person purchases a lottery by paying 50 rupees, and by luck he wins the first prize of 1 lakh rupees. So this 1 lakh rupees, no doubt it is money, it is going to his pocket, but it will not be calculated in the national income, because he has not produced anything worth 1 lakh rupees. He simply purchased a lottery ticket, okay, which cost him 50 rupees, and by chance, or you can say by luck, he won the first prize. Okay, that means this 1 lakh rupee will not be included. This is just one type of what? Windfall gain. Okay, similarly, if you win a jackpot somewhere, if you win a horse race somewhere, okay, win a bet somewhere, then these are simply windfall gains, and they do not add to the current flow of output of the economy. This is the reason. Remember, you must write the reason. If you don't write the reason, then your answer will not be completely correct. Okay, then capital gains rising from sale of shares and bonds. When we purchase shares from companies, when suppose the value of shares rises, the value of shares rises, the value of shares or bonds suppose rises, then the gain that we make from rise in the value of shares of a company or bonds of a company, they are also not included in the national income, because these are simply paper claims. Okay, we have the bonds or shares of a company, and suppose the company is making good profit and the value of share is rising, that's why. That does not mean that it has added to the current flow of goods and services of the company. It is because of the reputation of the company the value of share is rising, right or not? So the I hope you understand me. These are mere paper claims and do not add to the current flow of output. This is the most important reason. Okay, do not add to the current flow of output of the country. So capital gains arising from sale of shares and bonds, all these will not be included. Also you can say that suppose you have a plot of land, and the price of the land was suppose 50,000 rupees, you purchased it. Now the value of the land has increased to 70,000 rupees, so you are gaining 20,000 extra by selling the land. The value of the land has increased. Okay, it may be due to the demand, but it does not mean that you have added or you have created anything of any output of 20,000 extra for the economy, right? So when the value of land or a building rises over time, that is also one type of capital gain you are making, and that will not be included in the national income. Services for own consumption, such as services of a housewife at home, a teacher teaching his own daughter at home, kitchen gardening, etc. I told you that there are some activities which are very useful activities, they are productive activities, but we cannot estimate, calculate the actual value of those services at the current market price. For example, when a housewife is performing so many household activities at home, we cannot calculate the value of her services. Okay, we cannot say that a housewife has performed services of 500 rupees or 600 rupees. It sounds odd, and also it is not correct. That's why such activities cannot be estimated. How the services of housewife at home, a teacher teaching his own daughter or son at home. Okay, then kitchen gardening, suppose we have a garden and we are growing some crops, growing some vegetables for our kitchen, and the services you render to grow crops or to grow some vegetables or fruits, whatever time you are devoting for the kitchen gardening, the value of your labor, your dedication, your service cannot be calculated at the market price. That's why such services will not be calculated in the national income. The reason is it is difficult to estimate the market value of such services. Okay, let's move to the items to be included in calculation of national income. Right, there are certain items which seems that they will not be included, but actually they are included. There are certain items which seems like they will be included, but they are not included. So that is the very funny thing about national income calculation. Okay, that's why you have to be very very specific to find out, okay, whether the variables are standing upon the characteristics or not. Okay, if they fulfill the characteristics, if they fulfill the conditions, then they are included. If not, they are not included. So let's see which are the items which will be included in the national income. For example, brokerage of an agent or broker. Okay, brokerage of an agent or a broker. To explain this, I will take you to an example. What is the meaning of brokerage? Okay, just a minute. Okay, see, what is the meaning of brokerage? Who is a broker, who is an agent? Let me explain to you. Suppose this is Mr. X. He lives in Delhi. Okay, and he has a car to sell. He has an old car, he wants to sell it to somebody. Another person is there, he is Mr. Y, who lives in, suppose, Mumbai, and he is interested to purchase a second hand car. He is planning to purchase a second hand car, right? Now the question is that these two persons, they do not know each other, but they want, X wants to sell his car, Y wants to purchase a second hand car. Now let me say a person called B, he is an agent. He deals in purchase and sale of second hand cars. Okay, now this person B, he knows X and Y both. He comes to know that X wants to sell his old car and Y wants to purchase what, a second hand car, and he mediates between these two. He mediates between X and Y, and he brings them into contact with each other, and finally the deal is done. Now with the help of this agent B, X is able to sell his car to Y, suppose at rupees 3 lakh rupees. I told you that this is a second hand car, and this 3 lakh rupees that X gets from Y, it will not be included because it is a second hand car and the value of this car has already been included in the year of its manufacturing. Okay, so this 3 lakh rupees will not be included. But suppose because this B has helped X in selling his old car to a person, now X is giving suppose 1000 rupees to B as a commission. Similarly, suppose Y, he is also paying 1000 rupees to B as a commission because he has helped him to find a second hand car. That means here B is working as an agent. He is mediating in providing service to both X and Y. That means X and Y, they are getting productive services from this person B. So B in total gets 2000 rupees as commission. So this commission will be included in the national income, even though it comes from the sale of second hand car, because the service that B is rendering to X and Y is productive service, and that's why he is getting 2000 rupees income. So that is exactly what these people like OLX and what is that, Quaker, okay, these are really such agents who help you to sell your product to parties who you don't know, and by helping you to sell your items to other people, they earn some income. So whatever the income they earn, that is also called one type of commission, and that is included in the national income calculation. Okay, similarly you can say the matrimonial services. You know, there are many matrimonial sites which help people arranging their marriages by finding a suitable bride or groom. So these matrimonial sites, they are also getting commission by helping people fulfilling their wants and needs. So these are included in the calculation of national income because they provide us some productive service. So that's basically what I wanted to teach you. Okay, so I hope you understood this. The reason is he renders productive services. Second, goods produced for self consumption. Goods produced for self consumption. So what is the meaning of that? Again, I would like to take you to another slide. See, goods produced for self consumption. What is the meaning of that? Suppose a farmer. Suppose he is a farmer. Okay, this farmer is cultivating suppose 100 kilogram of rice in a year. He cultivated 100 kilogram of rice. Now out of 100 kilogram, he sold in the market. In the market he sold suppose 80 kilogram of rice he sold in the market, and 20 kilogram he kept for himself. This 20 kilogram that a farmer keeps for himself is called goods for self consumption, right? Now the question is whether this 20 kilo will be, the value of this 20 kg rice will be included or not included, because the 80 kg that is going to the market, it will be included. Okay, let me say the price of 1 kg rice is, okay, suppose 1 kg rice is equal to 10 rupees. Now 80 kilo is sold in the market. So 80 kilo rice will be 80 multiplied by 10, it will be 800 rupees. So this is included in the national income because this is a goods, rice is produced in the economy in that year, and the value can be calculated, and we included that. Now the 20 kilo that the farmer keeps for himself, the value of this 20 kilo also can be calculated at the market price, because the market price of rice per kilo is 10 rupees. That means 20 kilo rice will stand 20 into 10, it will be 200 rupees. Now the thing is that we can calculate the value of the product that is kept for self consumption. That's why if you can calculate the value at the current price in the market, then it should be included, isn't it? So the total value that we have to include is 800 plus 200, it is 1000, right or not? Here what I intend to teach you is that whatever is sold in the market, that will be included, but whatever product we keep for ourselves, if the value of the product is calculated at the current market price, then it should be included. It is included. Okay, okay, fine. Then right, reason is the value of such production can be estimated as per the market price. Next, retirement pension, very important and also confusing at the same time. Students often get confused between retirement pension and old age pension. So my dear students, please try to understand retirement pension. What is the meaning of retirement? Retirement means you gave some service to a company, and when your service ends, you get the retirement, right or not? And after retirement, the company gives you some pension every month. Now just try to understand what the pension you are getting. Why are you getting the pension? Are you just getting from the company as a transfer money, or you have done something for the company for which the company is paying you the pension? If you get it clearly, then the answer is with you. You rendered some services to the company in the past for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. You served for the company, and because of your service in the past, the company is giving you some pension now. That is what we call retirement pension. So retirement pension is a part of our COE, compensation of employee. This is a part of your what? Wage and salary, and you are earning it by giving some productive service to the company in the past. No doubt now you are retired, but you gave some service in the past, and because of that the company takes care of your present needs by giving you some pension. Okay, the government also gives pension to its employees after retirement. So retirement pension is a productive income. Okay, it will be included. But old age pension, as the name states you very clearly, old age means when a person is very old, out of his because of his age, he is getting some compensation from the government. Okay, old people, helpless people, okay, the government takes care of them by giving them some money every month, so that they can take care of their needs to some extent. So old age pension is not a productive income, because the person who is receiving that money, he is not giving any return to the government as productive service, so that will not be included. So be sure retirement pension will be included, but old age pension is not included. Next, imputed value of producer's own factors of production such as land, capital, building, etc. So what is the meaning of imputed value? Suppose it will be better to explain it to you with so see, suppose a producer, X is a producer, okay, he needs a building. He wants a building to start his business. Okay, now he knows that the size of the building that he requires, he takes if he takes such a building on rent in the market, then he has to pay suppose 10,000 rupees every month as rent. Please try to understand. X is a producer, he needs a building to start his business, and he knows that the size of the building will cost him 10,000 rupees rent at the current market price. So if he takes a building on rent and he pays 10,000 rupees interest, sorry, rent, then rent will be included in the national income, because this is what? A factor income. This is a part of your operating surplus, as you all know it, right? In income method we calculate rent. But suppose this building X is not taking this building, the building that X needs, X has his own building. Okay, this producer has his own building. He has a building. He does not want to take any building or any kind of house on rent. He has his own building of that size, and he uses that building for the production purpose. Now the thing is that if he would have taken that building on rent, he would have paid 10,000 rupees as rent, isn't it? But because it is his own building, he is not paying any rent separately. But we can calculate the market value of such a building at the current price, right or not? So whatever 10,000 he would have to pay to take such a building on rent basis, he is not paying because he has used his own building. But the price of such a building at the current rent in the market can be calculated, that is 10,000 rupees. So this is called imputed rent. Okay. Similarly, imputed interest. If X has invested his own money in the market, he has invested, suppose, own money from his own savings or from his own pocket. He has not taken any loan from the bank. That means he is saving some interest. If he would have to take any loan from the bank, then he would have to pay interest to the bank. That interest would be calculated in the national income. But he is not taking any loan. He is using his own capital, his own money. That's why he is not paying any interest separately. But the interest can be calculated at the current market price. I hope you understand me. So such things are called imputed values. Okay. When a producer uses his own factors of production, the market price of such factors of production are called the imputed values, and they can be calculated, they should be calculated, right? Let us see. Reason the imputed value of the contribution of such factors is production can be estimated. We can estimate that, and that is a productive service, and that's why we have to include it. Now, income of a casino owner. You know, casino where gambling activities are performed, and casino is, if the casino is registered, and it has obtained a license from the government to operate the casino, that means this is legal activity because it has been authorized by the government, it has been licensed by the government. So if a casino owner is earning any income by providing services to its customers, then that income will be included. But if any gambling activity is going on somewhere which is illegal and people are getting income from that, that will not be included. Next, interest paid by a firm to the bank against loan. This is a very important thing. Remember this. Let me again explain to you. Interest paid by a firm to the bank. Okay, when a firm takes loan from the bank, a firm takes loan for productive purpose. Okay, and he produces goods and services, he makes some profit, then he pays interest to the bank. Okay, so when a firm is taking loan from the bank and he pays some interest, that interest will be included because the interest comes through some productive sources. Okay, the firm uses the money for production, and that's why it adds to the current flow of goods and services in the economy, right? But when a household takes loan from the bank and pays interest, please students, please my dear viewers, please note it. Loan taken by household is for consumption purpose. Suppose I take a loan to purchase a car for my own use. I take a loan to purchase suppose a mobile phone. I take a loan to spend in my marriage. These are called consumption purposes. It does not create any kind of goods and service for the economy. Okay, so when a household takes loan and pays interest to the bank, household uses it for consumption purpose, and any loan taken for consumption purpose and interest paid for that will not be included in the calculation of national income. Is that clear? So be because this is a very frequently asked question, interest paid by farm to bank is included or not? It will be included, but interest paid by household to the bank will not be included. So this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this class, and I hope you will be able to answer questions based on such uh, concepts like things are included or not included. And to have more clarity, I will suggest all of you to find out through net and search in the book. There are so many variables which you can find in books, and you can see in the internet whether they are included or not with reasons. And lastly, I would again tell you that be careful whenever you answer such questions. You are answering with the reason. Simply yes or no will not do. Okay, if you simply say yes it is included, no it is not included, this answer is not correct, or it is not a valid answer to be evaluated. So you have to give the reason and suitable reason. Okay, so see you in the next video. Till then, take care, have a nice day.